Hi guys, welcome back to CMD in another video. You join me at Suspension Secrets. This morning, bright and early, I picked up the eldest, grabbed the keys to the GR Yaris, and we drove up to meet Matt and the team here at the workshop. For those of you who haven't heard of Suspension Secrets before, Matt and the team are masters in their field. If you want more information, I'll include a link in the description below, or a link up here to some of the videos including work they've done on my M2 competition, geometry and alignment, Öhlins road and track, coilovers, camber plate install. Today, we're here with the GR Yaris. For those of you who've seen episode 1, you'll be aware that Paul's car is already modified. It's spent time with Litchfield and Forge, to name but a few. Today we're here to carry out some much needed final tweaks to the car before she goes up to Scotland to do the North Coast 500 with petrol head tours. But for those of you who know me and Matt, you'll know that I am in no way the best person to guide you through the work that they're going to carry out. Matt is far better placed. So without further ado, let's get inside, talk to Matt about the work that's going to be carried out before the install. Let's go. Right, so in the workshop where the real work happens, Matt, can I pull you away from the important stuff?
Yeah.
For those who don't know Matt from Suspension Secrets, Matt from Suspension Secrets.
Hey.
So as far as I'm concerned, I've been driving the car for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Two major things that aren't done so far. First one, the nose, sort of, especially at pace, can sit quite high. Obviously, when you accelerate, pops the nose up. It's a really capable car, and not to take away from it, but I think we're going to look to do some work to fix that.
Yeah.
And the seating position.
Yeah.
So what are we doing to rectify those two points today?
Yeah, so like I said, one of the issues is when you start pushing, you start getting understeer. As a chassis, they run sort of no rake angle, so a key way of getting that turning the understeer gone is to run a bit of rake at the nose lower than the back, basically.
Okay.
So to solve that, we're going to fix some King lowering springs.
Okay.
So an Australian brand, but they set a really nice rake angle, and the spring rake's still a really nice rake for the road, and it still performs well on track as well, so it's a nice mix of the two worlds.
Okay.
We're then going to fix rear camber, because as standard you've only got a toe bolt adjustable on the rear of these. So we're going to fit rear camber arms, and then we can adjust camber around toe to get that to where we want it. So to get that sort of dynamic rotation going on. Front end, we're going to be fitting obviously the lowering springs. We've got some offset caster bushes as well, just to get a bit more sharp steering. And we're also going to be fitting some camber bolts to get that camber turned on. Nice. One of the biggest issues through the mid-corner section when you're really pushing, that's where you start scrubbing the understeering. Whereas if you have the camber to lean onto, you get rid of that understeering tightly. So we're going to transform this car from what I consider already a very capable, very good handling. Yeah, they're very good. It's just when you start pushing the extra 10, that's when you start feeling sort of downfalls of it. So we'll fix those, and then like I said, the seats, that's the number one issue, is the ride height for guys our size. Like you nearly touch the roof on the lowest setting. Yeah. So if you wear a helmet, game over.
And to give that context, I'm 5'9", so I'm not a tall person by any stretch of the imagination, and I feel quite high in the car. I also noticed that actually if you pull the sun visor down, you've literally got you can't see in the car. The sun visor it's great, it blocks out the sun, but it blocks out the entire window. Yeah. And I can see the bonnet even on the lowest setting. Yeah. So, and for me, that's just far too high. So you've built your own.
Yeah. So about a year ago, we developed a plate kit. As soon as we sort of got our hands on one, we wanted to solve the problem. So we stripped the seat down. We figured out where we could sort of gain advantage, and they're really welded together. We didn't want anyone to cut anything or anything like that. So we designed a plate that replaces the slider unit, and that drops the whole seat on 36 millimeters. Do lose the sliding function, but it's got multiple options for different height drivers. Yeah. And the handles still work on it. It's just the physical slider. But it gets you down, gets the perspective really nice as well. Like really good vision.
Excellent. So let Matt crack on with his work. Yep. Hit some B-roll, and then we'll cut some thoughts once the work's been carried out. So for now, thanks very much, Matt.
No worries.
See you guys soon. Cheers. Cheers, lads. Thank you. Hi.
Meow.
I jacked myself up actually.
You're too high.
Careful what you wish for. Too low. It feels.
It feels like I'm very low.
Okay, so literally just left Suspension Secrets. This is not a bad car out of the box, but immediately it's a more positive front end. Feels slightly lighter, and if it's possible, and I genuinely can't believe I'm saying this, feels a bit more eager. Done it again. Oh wow, yeah. Big difference. You're very immediately on that flat footing that you need to feel like you can push on with the car. Surprising. The suspension, and I'm on a nasty B road, doesn't feel any different. The major difference, however, is on the towing and the camber. And that's just in the first 10-15 minutes. So you join me back in the GR Yaris 2 days post Suspension Secrets visit. I did the close to the video after the visit, and to be honest with you, thought there's no way I've spent enough time to fully understand the changes that have been made. So I thought it'd be best to maybe check in post visit, driving some of the roads I'm familiar with as well. Firstly, let's talk seating position. When I was in the car with my wife the other day, pre-visit to Matt, the sun was in my eyes, and I put the visor down, and genuinely could not see out of the window. The visor protruded that far into my vision, and I was sat so high that actually I literally had, you know, the tiniest amount of view. And I'm not big, I'm 5'10" with my heels on. The plates from Suspension Secrets are fixed, but then it does jack all the way down and all the way up, but also the backrest is still there. Same for the passenger. Very, very cost-effective solution to get the seating position exactly as it should be, quite frankly. So right, and now let's talk about the suspension, the camber, and the alignment, because that's a drastic change in how the car behaves, and I didn't think that it would be. I already thought the car was very capable before, but it did have a habit of lifting its nose rather a lot on the edge. And although it was very capable, there's a very, very trick four-wheel drive system doing its thing. Just felt a bit bouncy and a bit understeery at times on the limit, whereas now we've got a very, very flat, very, very flat, very, very capable. It is utterly phenomenal on a B road, and I dread to think how much fun Paul is going to have in this when he goes to Scotland next week. Other things I've noticed, the steering is slightly lighter. Now obviously with camber, I think that's obviously added to that feeling, and I actually prefer it. I did feel it was slightly heavy before, especially when there's not a huge amount of input or feel, but it's just more capable. And even in an average driver like my hands, oh, it's just amazing. Just made an already immense car immensely more capable. Right guys, I've got to draw this video to a close in an attempt to leave Paul with some tyres left for Scotland, because I genuinely could try and drive this thing all day. Huge thank you to Matt and Alex at Suspension Secrets. They spent their bank holiday working on this car from 7 AM in the morning, you know, through to as long as it takes, and they titivated with this thing for literally hours to fine tune to the millimetre the settings to get it just right for fast road work. And my word, do they know their stuff. To Paul for the use of the GR Yaris yet again. This is episode 2 in the series. If you haven't seen episode 1, I'll make sure it's included in the link above. final thank you goes to you guys. Without people like you watching videos like this, we're not writing checks to local and national charities and good causes. So thank you for tuning in. If you like what you see, please remember to like and subscribe. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you guys soon. Cheers.